name is Shif. I'm the CTO of TraSky Modern IT.
And my name is Schwartzman. I'm a cloud solution architect at VMware. And today we're going to present and discuss a real customer use case where a customer had the requirements where we satisfy them with the solution of VMware Cloud on AWS. Lir is going to present the customer requirements and challenges. So please tell us about your challenges.
Yeah. So basically, we are a SaaS-based company. It means that our product is delivered to our customers online as a service. And our entire infrastructure is basically on-prem based on VMware technology. Our data centers are physical data centers in a couple of geographical locations, in a co-locations. This is where our hardware is basically installed. And we are using the VMware technology as infrastructure. So we have several huge clusters of ES6. We provide them storage in a traditional way over fiber channel. And basically, on top of that, we created a platform that consumes infrastructure services from vRealize Automation, which is the cloud management platform of VMware. So our platform team created massive CI/CD pipelines in order to develop and deliver the features of the product as fast as possible with minimum errors. And when they build their pipeline, they are consume the infrastructure services from VRA or from vCenter. So hundreds or thousands of lines of code is relying on those two technologies in order to consume infrastructure as part of the CI/CD pipelines. So the challenge was that in the co-locations, they had no room to expand more workloads, basically to add more physical server. And we were needed to add more compute in order to accommodate the production workload that just keep growing and the compute power for our developers to continue and develop. So we were needed to find some solution that will allow us to extend the data center to somewhere without doing major modifications or replatforming to the platform and change how the CI/CD pipelines consume infrastructure. So this is why we approach VMware, and VMC was a very good solution for that specific use case. So Michael, can you please explain how this VMC can contribute here?
Yes, absolutely. So just to summarize the requirements, you have a development environment which ran out of physical capacity and no room to expand in the existing colo, and you had a business need to expand which was not being able to satisfy in relevant timelines on your on-prem location. So actually VMware Cloud on AWS can help with just such a use case. What we're able to provide with VMware Cloud on AWS is on top of global AWS infrastructure, what we're doing is we're providing for our customers an environment which is completely dedicated to them on dedicated hosts. And on top of that, we're building the VMware SDDC stack. So basically, the same building blocks and technology which customers know and use on their on-prem, such as the hypervisor of vSphere running ESXi, the software-defined networking and security of NSX, the software-defined storage of vSun. All of that is being managed through vCenter. We provide on top of that also the SDDC console. And we expose the same set of APIs that customers know and use on the on-prem, both on the console and on the vCenter itself. Basically, with this solution, we're able to provide connectivity from the cloud environment to the on-prem environment. And we're able to provide this connectivity through either layer 2 or layer 3 connectivity. And with that, we're able to provide the on-prem automation and CI/CD pipeline the same look and feel and the same development methodologies and automation methodologies which are currently used with VRA. So basically for the DevOps operator, the vCenter here would be just another endpoint which it's communicating with. So you could actually expand to the cloud, leverage its benefits such as elasticity, global infrastructure, scale, and you can do it using the same tools and methodologies which you already invested in your on-prem environment.
I see. So what you're saying is that I can use VMC as another endpoint of VRA, so my platform team does not need to communicate with a different API. It's the same VRA API, basically.
Absolutely, exactly.
I see, nice. So same for vCenter, I guess. So I see that you have another vCenter there. Mm-hmm. It's the same, it's the same API?
It's exactly the same code that is running on your on-prem environment. It would be running on your VMware Cloud SDDC. The only difference would be its logo color. But it's exactly the same technology, running the same kind of form factor of VMs. Moreover, if you would need to do a migration of workloads, we provide on top of vCenter a solution which is called HCX, which enables us to perform a seamless migration of your current workloads into the cloud environment. So basically for sensitive workloads, you could actually do a vMotion with zero downtime of workloads. Mm-hmm. And if you would like to do a more traffic optimized migration, you could also do a bulk migration using this tool. The connectivity between the sites can be done either through dedicated lease lines of AWS called Direct Connect, mm-hmm. or through an internet VPN.
I see. So I see that in the solution you have NSX implemented, but I don't use NSX in my on-prem solution. It's a mandatory?
It's a great question. We get that a lot, actually. So no, you don't need any, there are no prerequisites from NSX or vSAN perspective to your on-prem environment. The only thing that you need to have in your on-prem environment is a vSphere environment with VMs in the VMware's form factor. Besides that, we got you covered from the networking connectivity. HCX with its layer 2 and layer 3 extensions does not require you to have NSX on-prem in order to use its benefits.
All right, so I guess that this SDDC is based on AWS hardware, and you have vSphere, NSX, and vSAN implemented. Mm-hmm. Now, my team now need to understand how to manage this, to maintain this. Mm-hmm. Do I need to learn how to do that?
So actually, it's a great question, because one of the benefits of this solution is that it's a fully managed service. Basically, it means that the entire process of provisioning and all of the day 2 operations we got you covered by VMware SRE teams. So basically, when you want to provision a new SDDC, you just click a button and everything is done automatically for you. And everything which is related to maintenance, security patches, software upgrades, and what happens if there's a failed hardware in the environment is being taken care of for you by VMware SREs with guaranteed SLAs.
I see. Great. So another question. My platform team now you're looking more into RDS and S3 for some for native services within their platform. They want to use AWS native services. Mm-hmm. So the fact that my SDDC is located within the AWS ecosystem, does it have any advantage in that area?
Absolutely. So one of the benefits of the solution is that it's a unique proposition, which is both a development from a technology perspective and also a commercial perspective. So for the AWS native environments, we're able to provide, because we're running basically in the same data center or in the same availability zone and region as the native environment, all of the native services that customers are using, such as storage of S3, compute of EC2, managed databases such as RDS, mm-hmm. So on and so forth. There are 176 different services which we can integrate with Shif. So what we're able to provide with the solution is high bandwidth, low latency, ENI, connecting between the two VPCs of the VMware SDDC and the AWS native SDDC. This connectivity is unique because if we have a VM, or a service actually, not a VM, we have a VM on our VMware environment, and we have a service which we're consuming, such as, for instance, a file on the EFS here. The traffic which is coming from the AWS native environments to the virtual environment of VMware is not being charged or metered. So the traffic coming from the AWS native environment to the VMware SDDC is free of charge and going through this high bandwidth, low latency link, which enables you good performance for latency sensitive workloads such as, for instance, big data analytics, and etc.
I see. Yeah. All right. So basically, this is how VMware Stack is joint ventured with AWS infrastructure. And this kind of solution makes sense for a lot of use cases that we as TraSky see in the market, and we actually implement several projects which look like the same, whether it's data center extension or a full migration of workloads lift and shift from on-prem to AWS, especially on VMC, without the need to re-platform the application or redesign the CI/CD pipelines or any automation mechanisms that we created on-prem. We just keep the same technology stack. But another challenge that raises here, beside the fact that we are moving to the cloud and we have all those new technologies and new approaches that we need to adopt, is how we do data protection, basically. So now when you're moving your workloads to the cloud, your production workloads or test and dev, you still need to protect the data. You need to backup, and you need to be able to restore it when you require to. Now, you have the option to use the same data protection solution on-prem, but you need to verify if it's qualified or certified to backup workloads on AWS, on VMC in specific. And you need to design the solution accordingly. Now, you don't want to use the repository from the on-prem to take data from AWS back to your on-prem because you don't want to pay on egress traffic. So what you need to do is basically to architect a full solution, data protection solution in the cloud, which will leverage the technologies that AWS and VMware offer you in order to protect your data. So we actually implemented in real project Vim, which is Vim is certified to backup and restore workloads from VMC specifically. So what we are doing here is basically we were able to implement Vim repository on native AWS EC2 instance. And for the short-term backup, we're using EFS for NFS. Basically, it's NFS mounts. And for the long-term backup, Vim supports archiving to S3. So we are able to move the data to a long-term archive, which lowering the cost of storage in the cloud. So this kind of solution works perfectly. We have a reference architecture or actual customers that using this kind of solution, and it worked great. So thank you, Michael, for being here.
Thank you, Leil, and thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much.